Are we experiencing a mental health epidemic? The statistics are concerning, but even more telling are the conversations happening in our daily lives. In this episode, I'll explore what's really going on with mental health in our society, and more importantly, what we can do about it. Whether you're struggling yourself or know someone who is, you'll learn why there's always hope and how taking action, even small steps, can lead to real improvement. This is a quick post-production note. If you know of anybody that's having any mental health issues, make sure you check out the resources that are in the show notes. I talk about them right at the end of the episode. Thanks. Welcome to Live Well and Flourish, where I help you understand what it means to live a flourishing life. I'm your host, Craig Van Slyke. If you're ready to think beyond material and external success, if you're ready to take control of who you are and the kind of life you live, if you're ready to flourish, this is the podcast for you. Something concerning is happening with mental health in our society. More and more people seem to be struggling, and I'm noticing it in my daily interactions. The signs are everywhere, from casual conversations to formal surveys. In 2018, 19.1% of U.S. adults, that's 46.7 million people, suffered from a mental illness. By 2022, the percentage had shot up to 23.1%. That's 59.3 million people. That is not a healthy trend. In my conversations with people, the signs of mental health struggles range from subtle hints to direct discussions. What's particularly striking is how these challenges cut across all demographics, age, gender, income levels, and social backgrounds. Frankly, I'm not sure what to think about all of this. Maybe I'm just more aware, but I think something important is going on. This seems to be a shared human experience that cuts across all boundaries. There are a couple of ways to interpret this situation. Maybe we're not really experiencing more mental health challenges. People are just more open to discussing them and getting professional help. And that's certainly part of the story, and it's a positive development. But I think something deeper is going on. I've observed a growing sense of uncertainty about the future, especially lately. Although many of the young professionals and students I work with are still optimistic and enthusiastic about their futures, others seem to be struggling with a loss of hope and direction. They just seem to be kind of lost and unsure of how to think about their place in the world. Given these concerning trends, what can we do? While the scope of the problem might seem overwhelming, there are some concrete steps we can take both individually and collectively that may help. If you or someone you know is in poor mental health, the first thing to do is to realize that despite how things may seem, the situation is not hopeless. Mental health can be improved. Yeah, this can take a lot of work and time, but in all but some very rare cases, mental health problems are treatable. Second, seek help. Even though therapy, thankfully, is no longer carrying the same stigma it used to, many people are still reluctant to ask for help. Say it with me. It's okay to ask for help. In fact, it's more than okay. It's a courageous act of taking control to improve your well-being. As I've discussed before, taking control is a sure way to reduce anxiety, stress, and feelings of hopelessness. Even small steps can add up to big improvements. Finally, be kind and empathetic, not only to others, but to yourself. One factor that can start a downward mental health spiral is a feeling that you ought to be able to snap out of whatever you're experiencing without any help. This leaves you frustrated and feeling inadequate, which further degrades your mental health. It's a bad situation, one that's all too common. Here's my final point. Asking for help is taking control. When you ask for help, you're taking a positive step towards improving your mental health. If that's not taking control, then I don't know what is. Remember, taking care of your mental health isn't just about avoiding problems. It's an essential part of living well and flourishing. When you're mentally healthy, you're better able to pursue meaningful goals, maintain strong relationships, and contribute positively to our communities. By acknowledging mental health challenges and taking active steps to address them, you're not just solving problems, you're creating the foundation for a life of purpose and fulfillment. If you or someone you know is suffering a mental health crisis, here are a few resources that might help. These are going to be in the show notes. Show notes are available at livewellandflourish.com. The 988 Lifeline is kind of like 911 for mental health. Calling 988 will connect the caller with one of 200 crisis centers who are ready and able to provide help. The Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration operates a national helpline called 1-800-662-HELP. That's 1-800-662-4357. When you call that number, you can speak directly with a counselor. And finally, the American Psychological Association has a directory of crisis hotlines and resources. This is a long one, sorry. Go to apa.org/topics/crisis-hotlines. Again, there'll be a link in the show notes. Before closing, I want to urge anyone who's having mental health issues, even just increased stress in your life, to do something about it. One of the best things you can do, and I know I've said this before, is to get help. Reach out to a professional or reach out to a friend. So if you or someone you know is having even small mental health issues, please seek help or encourage them to seek help. Until next time, stay well, my friends. If you're ready to explore what an excellent life means to you, be sure to like, subscribe, or follow, or whatever the cool kids are calling it these days. The easiest way to do that is to go to livewellandflourish.com/follow. And if you know someone who might benefit from these conversations about living with purpose and virtue, please share Live Well and Flourish with them. Together, we can create the conditions for excellence to emerge in our lives.